Spoken thought. This conversation or segment today is about awakening the goddess. And I don't want to just say awaken the goddess. I want you to understand what I mean by that. Think about what I'm about to say. Okay? Awakening goddess in you. The day that you was born, your first birthday, was the day that you was conceived. And the goddess is the child of God. An angel is the child of God. It's the son of God. A goddess is the daughter of God. Then you live out your manifestation. Your second birth is when you're born on earth. But let's just understand the goddess in you. And God gave you, before you even touch earth, the gifts that he gave to the goddess. Even if you do not bear his child, you are a goddess. You have the right to these gifts. They're not given to you by man. Man is supposed to provide them gifts. He has been given the responsibility to provide and to protect you and to parent God's child greater than you. You're the mother to God's child, not man's child, but God's child. And with that gift, he gave you creation. You give you a lemon, you make lemonade. You give you a house, you make a home. A man can have a box. If you are with him, you will make that box feel like a home. It's up to you to inspire him and give him purpose to get something greater and safer that was going to protect the child of God. It's greater than you. We bow down to God because God gives us a life. That's the respectful thing to do. Amen to that. I pray to that. I thank God for giving me life. But I also have to show the respect that a female, she brings life to earth because of her goddess powers. Anything that can bleed for 7 days, carry a child for 9 months, and live through a birth, you may not be God, but you're a distance of God. You're a goddess. I believe you received the rib of God. Because God knew one day he was going to come to you the womb of a woman. That's your womb. When you do labor for God, and any woman had done it before you, the 10 months that you did labor for God while he was building that child inside you, you didn't create them eyes. You didn't do the nostrils, the ears, the lungs, the heart, the veins. You didn't do none of that. And what week did you do? What trimester did you do it? Honestly, God was inside you. You are closer to God than any male. I don't know why we have our church set up to have a father in it. We can't even be a father to our child in heaven. We're only a father to God's child on earth. And that's if we choose to father that child correctly. And it is Father's Day. I am the proud father of 5 children that God chose my seed to make. But I'm a father to all God's children. Any child that come in my realm, I will parent that child as if it's mine because they're all God's children. I understand that. That's a true father. Not the father just to his child, but a father to all God's children. We ain't nothing but babysitter. And if we babysit that child correctly, right, that child will call his father or mother. And that is the gift that child gives us. Only 2 things can call his mother and father to God's child. That is God and that child, if you've done correctly by that child. And if you don't, just let you know, Jesus knows, God knows. You better believe that. But awaken the goddess, your titles, lady, on earth, the highest thing and the greatest thing a human being can be for a female is a lady. A mother to God's child, not man's child, God's child. Understand that. And a goddess in heaven. Your day that you was conceived, the day that God took the seed of a man and the egg of a woman, he bonded together with his spirit. He decided then that you're a goddess. And when you come to earth 10 months from now, from your conception birth, nobody teaches about your day that you conceived. We pay no attention to that. That is your higher self. The day that you was conceived as a goddess, a child of God. The human being, God has nothing to do with that. That is your outfit that you wear for Jesus to live out your trimesters, your trials and tribulations. The transformation to see what kind of life you can live outside of heaven's gates, to earn your way back into heaven. You have to go through Jesus. Jesus did give his life for us. And the more respectful thing to do is respect the chain of command. But before I even get to Jesus, I got to respect the chain of command on earth. I believe every female is truly a goddess. And I bow down to her. I cannot stand a woman in you. I understand the woman in you, but I cannot stand the woman in you. Understanding is that God gave you enough man in you that you should never need one or ask for one. And I know God is never going to even accept a woman in you, so why should I? So I don't want to deal with the woman in you. The man in me, any woman that brings the man out of me, any female that chooses to bring that man out of me, I don't want to deal with. I know that the only creature that God was going to accept in me is the gentleman in me. When I become that creature too gentle and a man. Everything that my man has been and will be is owned by my gentleman. I didn't know that. The respectful thing to do everything a man can't do. Most men don't talk. I'm learning how to speak. Most men don't think mentally, emotionally. They rely on their physical capacity. I've been there, done that. And I could come and tell you, it's nice, it's enjoyable, but it got to be more to it. It has to be more to it. It's empty. When you apply the mental and emotional, and then you understand it. But awakening the goddess, that is our responsibility to provide for her. Even if we don't have no child, if we want to go to heaven on earth is between the legs of a goddess. God is not going to let a man in heaven, so you should not go to heaven as a man, but only as a gentleman. And if you go there as a man, that fruit becomes forbidden. Believe that. If God knows you take it as a man and you being disrespectful with it, and that is what a man is. And even if she act as a woman, she cannot blame God for how you choose to act because she allowed it to happen. And that's your research and development. But don't bring it home. You tell a man in a minute, he can come to your house, but he cannot come in your home. A man and a woman do not go into a house of a home. A man and woman go to the thresholds of the door of the house. But once they go inside that home, they become a lady and a gentleman. It's not about a husband and a wife. That's a title to a man's contract. God don't care about a husband and a wife. Them are artificial names. That's the false God, society's God. The union commitment, if that gentleman is planning on going to heaven and has gone to heaven, he better be respectful to that goddess. As a gentleman. Not as a man, but as a gentleman. That's the appropriate way. And she needs to receive you as a lady. Only a lady can receive a gentleman. A gentleman would never answer to a woman. She's a foul creature. Very foul. A man is a foul creature. It is what it is. I'm a good man, been a good man, but I know the bad parts about me. And only the gentleman who can admit to that. And true gentlemen can admit to the fact is, it's not that the man was bad. It was good, but it was some things that we knew about us. And when we learn how to admit to that, then we see our higher selves. We are here to serve a goddess. Our purpose is her creation to God's child, for us to provide and to protect her and God's child. Understand that. All of God's children and all the goddesses. If you cannot bow to the goddess on earth, I truly believe Jesus will not let you bow to his Father in heaven. Just think about it. Don't believe everything you read. It can get you there. It can get you there. God knows two things about you. What you think and what you sense. Even the word of man is tainted. There ain't no book that has ever written anything good about a black person. Keep it real. Understand that. So why should I believe in something that don't believe in me? If people on that level to think, I allow God to speak to me through them words. Allow him to speak, but I ain't gonna believe everything. I believe what he wants me to believe and what I think about when I'm having a conversation with him. What choose to stick to my mind within me? He'll answer that for me.